Before this video starts, I want to quickly say that I'm not really a big fan of Luna. And I also just put over on Twitter that I think that the founder has basically lost his mind. Having said that, when I see an opportunity, I share it with you guys. And oh boy, do we have an interesting situation for ourselves right now. So for all of you that do not know, Do Kwon took to the Agora again today to come up with an ecosystem revival plan 2.0. In which he basically states, we're gonna call this old Luna classic, and there's gonna be a new Luna called Terra Luna. We're gonna give 35% to people who held Luna before, about 10% to the actual current Luna holders, and about 25% to current UST holders. The total distribution will be 1 billion, and it will basically be like an airdrop. You don't really have to do too much, they'll just give you the tokens for absolutely free. The voting is going to be tomorrow, and the actual snapshots are going to be like the 27th. The launch is also going to be 27th. And that's honestly the main reason why I'm making this video. There's a pretty high probability that if the vote on this one is positive tomorrow, that the price could pretty much pump for the next about 8 days or so. Hear me out. So we have the 17th, the announcement, which is right now Asia time in the morning somewhere. Then tomorrow, the governance proposal where, if we read this properly, Terraform Labs will put this proposal up for a governance vote on the 18th of May, Asia time. If passed, again, most likely just tomorrow morning somewhere, if passed, it'll coordinate the network fork pursuant to the timeline below, which was what I basically just read for you guys. And once more, to get a good understanding as to why I'm saying a pump is viable, is because many people want to fall into this little category right here. Remember, 25% is basically used for the future. It's the community poll as they're excluding the TFL from taking place in this specific airdrop. They basically blacklisted their 290 million Luna wallet. 5% is for developers. 35% is for people who held Luna before, but there's going to be a very big cliff. So it basically says if you had less than 1 million Luna in your wallet, which is about 99.9% of the people watching this video, you have to wait 1 year to get any single token from this, any new Luna. You basically have to wait 1 year to get the new Luna. You're still going to have to hold on to your Luna Classic. And again, it's a side thing, right? So you'll keep your Luna Classic, and this you're going to get after a year. And then after that, over the next 2 years, you'll get the rest of your coins. Also, of course, for the people that have more than 1 million Luna, but then it's like you have to wait a year, and then you, over the next 4 years, get your coins. Since it's such a long waiting time, people want their coins quickly. They have two options. One is to get yourself some Luna, and two is to get yourself some UST. I honestly was not happy with this ID, mostly because I kind of think they left UST holders from the past in the dark, as it just says here about the Luna itself. Then again, maybe this bonded unbonded in some way, shape, or form also kind of thinks about the fact that you've basically put your Luna in for UST, and that's where the calculation comes from, but that I do not know. My knowledge is not great or vast enough to understand that properly. But I digress. 35% basically is going to be going to holders of these two new coins basically in about 8-9 days from now, the 27th, when the snapshot is going to be taken. So if the proposal goes through, then a lot of the people which will be able to sell these tokens, again, take a look at this, Luna holders, staking derivatives included, at the launch snapshot, which is going to be the 27th, will get 10% of the tokens unlocked at Genesis. So again, the 27th of the new Luna tokens, and then 90% over the next 2 years. They don't have to wait this entire first year cliff. Same thing goes for current UST holders. They get 10% at the start and the rest over 2 years, but that basically means they can sell it right at the start. So what happens very often with systems like this is that people sell that start, that TGE, that Genesis massively. But since it's an airdrop coming up, usually people start buying in a little bit before the specific event. And again, my own thoughts, my own prediction is if the vote is yes, there's a good chance that it's going to pump until about the 26th or so, as a lot of people will basically use this as arbitrage. Buy right now, buy the rumor, and then sell the news. Sell the day before the actual announcement happens because they want to make money off of that change in price. They don't want to make the actual airdrop. They make more money off this specific change. Now, the reason I am not saying that this is the easiest trade of a lifetime, in the past, we've made a couple of really juicy arbitrages over on Bybit most of the time with the BIT token. We've made a couple of really profitable trades over on there. The reason I'm not giving you guys this as like a gem of mine, but I'm giving you guys this as a cautionary tale of, hey, this has a pretty high likelihood to happen, but it's not so certain, is mostly because I'm really against the idea. And so the reason I'm saying it could pump is because of logical market conditions, right? But there's a couple of faulties to the system, or faults to the system. That is mostly like we've discovered before as well in the initial proposal of the Luna 2.0 and whatnot. The entire new network or so, it will not have value from the get-go. And I've read a ton of Twitter posts talking about how they could generate more value, this, that. But the main thing which they are lacking right now, and that's something that I think most people will vouch for as well, is the guy's lost his mind because everybody wants some sort of burn. Even Binance's CZ said, go for the people, put the people first, and go for some sort of burn mechanism, and try to help out as many small holders as possible by reimbursing them with the money. Yet he's saying, yeah, you know what, you guys are saying a lot of things, cool, but I'm going to launch a new token and we'll see what happens. So for any of you keen watchers out there, there's a very interesting thing that I've not seen many people discuss over on Twitter just quite yet. You've most likely now understood that there's a 1 billion Lunas that are going to be split over. I've heard some people say that right now Luna is being burned as well. I've seen some videos. I cannot confirm whether or not that's the truth. I thought it wasn't so, because if you look through the Agora, there's actually proposals for burns, and I really like to see them, but none of them have actually officially been implemented. Again, you can check out all the votes, none of them have pulled through. Otherwise, people would rejoice right now. None of them actually made it through. If you're seeing some of the things are being burned, it's incorrect. If you're somewhere seeing people say, we're going to go to 1 billion or so, they're talking most likely about the new Luna 2.0. But this thing that people are not talking about is actually this right here. It says 35% all bonded and unbonded Luna minus TFL at pre-attack snapshot. Pre-attack snapshot is about the 7th of May, I believe, and where it gets interesting is this. Checking out the address they provided, that specific TFL wallet has about 290 million, which is about $65,000. So, to be honest, that ain't much money. Just not gonna lie to you guys, that ain't much money for a foundation to have. So, that's the current amount though, right? This is 290 million. We don't know how much they bought. So if they had 290 million before the price plummeted as well, then that was a very big chunk of money, because that's still times about 100 or so, as that was the price at the moment. Because this is not the wallet that was buying it all up. At least supposedly this was not that wallet. The big wallet that was buying everything up was this one right here, the LFG's wallet. And I'm kind of wondering what actually happened with that and what was in it before. What I mean to say is, was there a big amount of Luna inside this one, yes or no? And will these guys actually be able to participate in the newer round of Luna under that 10%, or the UST under the old guard or whatnot? As, again, this is the LFG. They've not officially been excluded. Should they be? Not sure, but I don't see anybody talking about this. I think it's an interesting point. So that Do Kwon and whatnot, through the LFG, I guess, will still be involved in all of it, right, huh? Even though the Terra Foundation, Terraform Labs has been excluded, Ledger or Luna Foundation Guard is still in it. But again, I don't know. I've just been thinking about that for a little bit. But again, guys, I've been talking a lot about all these different proposals, all these different ideas. It makes me feel as if I'm like a big Luna baby or so. At the end of the day, I don't really care what happens. I've given up on my money, and I'm still hoping that it's going to be a crazy, nice, juicy little pump, but I don't expect it to, because the guy is not clearly incapable. I think this man is actually pretty smart. He most likely has thought about all these things quite properly. He's had a ton of conversations. He also knows there could be a lot of different consequence to whatever choice he makes. A lot of people are talking about criminal investigations. There's a lot of people who are threatening him, most likely to do something really crazy to him. So the guy must probably be thinking very, very hard what the next big steps can be. I'm also thinking maybe if they were to only help out the smaller people, for example, smaller people, not if they're short, we're only going to help out midgets or whatnot. No, I'm talking mostly about if they were to only help the smaller capital people, maybe there would be heavier lawsuits. If they only help the bigger money people, maybe there would be other sorts of lawsuits and whatnot. So it's very, very hard to come to the right conclusion. I would have personally said go for a burn, but we, in my best calculating way possible, went to draw it in, and they don't really have much money. They have, let's say, $200-300 million left. They can't really reimburse that many people with it. And so I'm not really sure exactly what they're going to do with those reserves now they're going for Luna 2.0. Not exactly sure what their plan is. Then again, maybe this entire new plan is to make sure they have a lot of money coming in from some way, shape, or form, and to keep the value, while then thinking of ways to reimburse the older holders or so. It could be. That's why I'm saying, I don't really like the way in which he's doing things, but take it with a grain of salt. Give him a chance. Let's wait it out. The guy is not by definition a scam or anything like that. It's just been properly mismanaged. in the sense that he should have given us updates along the entire journey. Then again, I can also understand how it's been too stressful or too much to handle with too many questions from left, right, as he just lost billions of dollars. And again, I can't say it's an entire ecosystem that's failed. It's not just one person's fault or so. Then again, it does feel for him most likely that way. As you guys probably know by now, if all push comes to shove, you can always file for an application at McDonald's. That's what a lot of us have been going through. And yeah, I'll see you guys most likely on this other side. If there's any more updates, I'll definitely get you guys in the loop. But this was the most important thing for right now. That again, the price can definitely pump due to this. So yeah, wanted to get you guys in on that. And I'll see you guys later. Let me know down below what you think. And make sure you press the like button and subscribe if you enjoyed it. Adios.